I'm so excited to bring 3 presenters up to the stage.
Hello. Hello. Oh, so much power up here. Hello, my name's Megan Frank. I am a proprietor of the Savoy, Denver, which you are at today. I am also a co-artistic director of Theater Artibus, which is the resident theater company in this space. So, the Savoy Denver, we thought really fit well with this theme of revival. This building was built in 1889, and if you look around, you'll see remnants of a rich history in this very ballroom. The ceilings are original tile. They're pressed 10, and the window moldings are also original to the building. And each brick and each creak of this very old floor tells a lot of stories. Before that, the Arapaho, Cheyenne, and Ute peoples celebrated and thrived on this land long before they were forcibly taken. And we at the Savoy do what is called a SIP fee, or a surcharge for Indigenous peoples, and that every rental here at the Savoy, corporate to artistic, goes towards a community pot that is then donated to an artist-led, artistic, Indigenous-led organization annually at the Savoy as a means towards relationship building and reciprocity. Thank you. But by no means the end of what should be a very long conversation. So the Savoy itself is a place of story, and it's a place of people, so I'm so glad to see so many people here. It was originally many things. It was the meeting hall of the Danish sisterhood, who had their choral concerts right here in this very room until 1919, when the rent got too high, above $10 a month. So if you can imagine renting this whole place for $10 a month. Most importantly, it was the Rodell Vanilla Factory. Vanilla was made here on this premises, and it is told to me by many people that you could still smell vanilla out on the street all the way up until the 90s, and especially in this room in particular. This is also a living room, a social hall, a photography studio, and now it is the Savoy Denver. Yeah. So, the Savoy Denver. Woo! The Savoy Denver. So, built in 1889, and what I wanted to say is this neighborhood is super significant. It is a historically Black, Latinx, Japanese American, immigrant, Jewish community that has thrived here and has faced a lot of change. This building survived somehow, some way. And so when my family had the opportunity in 2018 to purchase this building. We're longtime Denverites. We've lived here for many, many years. The idea of holding cultural space in this specific neighborhood felt not only like an amazing opportunity, but really a mandate to continue to understand what that means. What it means to have space, what it means to offer space, and what it means to be in space with others. And so at the Savoy, we went through a really long renovation process. We built, as you walked in, an addition to the space. It started as a really dilapidated garage and came into the entrance that you have because we really wanted, if this space was to feel accessible, it needed to have an elevator. It needed to feel like it was accessible to all. So we went through a humongously long renovation process that was difficult and hard. It's a historic district, meaning that this building in specific was not necessarily, we could do whatever we wanted to the inside, but the outside needed to be passed by a landmark committee and had to be sympathetic to the architecture of the building. And there's no real path for private cultural spaces in Denver that isn't faced with a tremendous amount of codage and all these things that make it possible for us to be in space together, but make it really difficult for small spaces, especially those that want to support the arts, to not compete with these humongous, as you walk out, you'll see these huge apartment buildings across the two spaces, which were empty lots when we started and finished before we ended because we didn't really have that avenue or pipeline through the city. What do we do at the Savoy? We go the other direction. This is just one picture of what it used to look like. and what it does look like now. And we created it to be kind of a theater space. So we wanted to revive the idea of flow. And the bar was here, and we moved it there. And we also created the opportunity for theater and performing arts to exist in this space by other amenities. 2 minutes. Oh my gosh. Okay. What do we do at the Savoy? We do arts. We do all sorts of performing arts. We do concerts. We do, and we also do theater. But most importantly, we also, anything that rents at the Savoy, such as a wedding or a corporate event or something like this, a networking event in the mornings, helps support the arts that we do. Why am I interested? I have a theater company. We make arts from scratch. Our whole thing is about collaboration and community engagement. We look at an empty space and we make work. Most importantly, the work that we are continuing to do in this space as a cultural mandate. We were named the top theater company by 5280. We encourage you to come and see our stuff. It's weird, creative, and most importantly, it's original. We don't do anything that's scripted. We always make things from scratch all the way from the beginning to the end. Most importantly, though, we believe in collaboration and history, and our mission and our mandate is to tell the stories of this neighborhood. And so to do that, we make stories about this building in specific and this neighborhood in general with many different community partners, including we just did a really cool project. This was called Recipe. There's the Danish Sisterhood. There we are as the Danish Sisterhood. There was an elaborate, this was about the Rossonian with our friends at Emancipation Theater Company. And we just finished a project called Echoes of Curtis Park, in which we did a lot of interviews with the community and really focused on the Latinx and Chicanox history and community of this neighborhood, and worked with a lot of community partners to create a transcript theater so that you came and saw the stories as told to us by a really beautiful and amazing ensemble. So, we believe that humor can change the world, that being in space together makes a difference, and that we have a responsibility, especially in this space, to revive the idea of what that looks like by offering creative, accessible space to all, and to support the arts in this particular community at this particular time, of which you all can be a part of. You are right now, and then if you'd like to come back, if you have a wild idea, or even a way in which your business perhaps could rent here to support the arts at the Savoy, revival is possible, and it takes a lot of community and collaboration. I would like to especially invite my friend Franzo Gilkey up to the stage, who's one of the many artists that uses and utilizes this space in his own form of revival with his own company.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Beautiful. I'm gonna grab that right back. So, for my piece, I kind of need all y'all's help. So, y'all are sitting. I'm gonna keep y'all sitting. But what I need you to do is put up your right hand. Sweet. Put it in front of you. Make sure you're not hitting your neighbor. Now, with your right hand, for the next 15 seconds, I need you to make an X. Can be as big or as little of an X, but the biggest thing is I need you to know all the metrics of this X. If it's big, if it's little, if it uses your entire body, part of it. Keep going for another 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Great. Put your hand down. Take that left hand up. Put it in front of you. This time you're going to make a circle. Same rules. Make it as big or as little, but you just need to know the metrics of your circle. Perfect. Do it for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Put that hand down. Perfect. Now, put both hands in front of you. That right hand, you're making that same X. That left hand, you're making that same circle. Try for the next 15 seconds. See how hard it is. All right. Put your hands down. Fantastic. So the reason I want to start out with that is because as creatives, we're always doing that right there. You might be trying to learn your lines, figure out your performance, your choreography, how you're going to get your next gig, whatever it is, but you still have to be a human. You still got to make sure you have enough food, enough money in the bank to pay for rent, all those things. So the biggest thing is we're constantly doing this, and we're never going to get it perfect, never going to get it right, but I think us trying it helps us get comfortable to failure, helps us get comfortable to not being perfect in our situations, and that is kind of what different media is all about. So for us, our biggest thing is creating space for people to be themselves, to also be uncomfortable, and that it's okay to be uncomfortable. You can find ways to get out of that. So on Revival, different media started right after COVID, in which I was a part of another company for 10 some odd years, and I was lost for what I wanted to do as art. And I found a really strong sense of community, both here at the Savoy and here just in Denver in general. And for that, it revived me to kind of, wrong way. To start different media in which we love to partner with local artists, organizations, vendors, food, whatever we can get a hand on, because we think putting back into the people that started this place and that give so much of themselves is what life is about. So our first project was called Intimate Views. In this case, I got to bring in 5 of my very, very close friends, and we got to put on a show. For some of them, this was their first time being on stage, to have their own art gallery, and I think that's where the true mission started, and it's all about encouraging creativity in so many lenses, in so many ways. So we've done that. We did a spotlight event, which was beautiful, and again, these are all around engagement. So a lot of the work in theater that we like to produce is immersive, it's interactive, it's engagement, and our biggest thing is connecting with the people that are in the seats and you connecting with the artists that are on stage. It shouldn't be 2 separate worlds. It should be one, because we all go out there, we get in our cars and we drive off, we get smelly, we gotta take showers. So it's nice to have us all in the same boat. So we've done a food and flavor. We love to tap into culinary art. Again, live artists, craftsmen, whatever we can get our hands on, we think it's very important. We had a Love Touch show right here in the Savoy, and we have loved all of our connections here because they just grow and build. And we have a running long monthly event here that's been for almost the past 1.5 to 2 years. So we're very grateful for Savoy and all that they've given to us. And in this space, it's called Create and Chill, and it's once a month. It's honestly for anybody in here that has a creative mind. And what we do is we curate spaces around prompts. So anything from fostering friendships to identity and dynamics to commitment. And we like to partner with local artists and find a way to creatively tap into these subjects. So we have about 4 to 5 activities. It's all around just connecting, being yourself, finding a new way to engage, and it's totally free. We think that the biggest thing is opportunity for people and options. So if you ever want to come out there, there's a list of all of our dates, and I can talk to you later. But it's a wonderful time. Here's some of the wonderful times we have at that space. So we love to provide food, art, writing, ways to connect with others. And I'm going to skip that because it's not important right now. But this is our mission statement. And I just want to say, for us, the biggest thing is the authentic connection piece. It doesn't matter if we're making the most money from our events or if people can't make it. The biggest thing is making it accessible and a place of belonging for anybody to enjoy. So we really focus on how can we engage in new ways. Again, to that point of, can be very discomforting to be in spaces like this with strangers. But if we can find a way to get out of that and find the courage to be ourselves in those spaces and know that no harm will come to us, I think there's so much area of growth in that space. And that has led me personally to finding my own new community, my own new ways, both in, I am a theater major for the most part, so acting, improv, all those things I love, but within the last 6 months, I've gotten into aerial, and you'll find out a little bit more here in a second. But it's awesome to just be in a space where I can connect with other artists. They can show me about myself, and we can get into a lot of other cool, creative, collaborative systems that feel both healthy as a person, but also as an artistry and an industry of how we want to go and showing new ways that we can create those spaces. So I say that, and I want to bring up the person who introduced me to aerial and has me doing all kinds of flips and twirls, is going to be Amber Blaze.
Thank you.
Hello. We want to do a fun little exercise with you. So I'm going to bring Megan back up really quick. She's going to lead us in this.
Can everyone raise their left hand and just wave? Oh, nice. Okay, take your other hand and a thumbs up and just look to your neighbor and give them a thumbs up. Excellent. Okay, now what I'd like you to do is you're going to put one hand, the hand you raised, down near your, there. So you're taking your other hand like this, and you're going to put that thumb right over the hand of the person next to you. Now, this is tricky because it might be that the person next to you is across the way, right? So that everyone should have one thumb and one hand. Yeah? Like that? You're doing great. This is excellent. Okay, so on the count of 3, this is what you're going to try to do. On the count of 3, I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, and after that, you don't want your thumb to get caught by the other person. You're going to simultaneously try to catch the thumb of the person next to you and not get your thumb caught. Yeah? Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, one more time, but we're going to do the other side. So now change your hand. The hand that was the thumbs up is now the hand on the palm. Then there. Yeah, like that. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Welcome to your creative brain. And now Amber.
All right, I needed that little bit of giggling there too, so thank you. When we started talking about revival, I thought about my personal journey through circus. So when I was little, I wanted to be a dinosaur. I lived in a world of imagination. I would build box forts. I would make my brother and sister take part in plays that we would put on for my poor parents. And I would do magic shows with my grandfather. We did this levitation thing with broomsticks and shoes. It was cute. They're some of my most favorite memories. As I grew up, though, I started to be told that I was supposed to be a certain way. I was supposed to go to college. I was supposed to get a practical degree. I had to get a job at that degree. I then had to get married and get a house and have kids and do that path. And for a lot of people, that is the path that you do, and that's amazing. And so I did it. I went to college. I got a degree in marketing. I got married with my college sweetheart, and we bought a house together. And as I started to reach the age of 27, which is when my mom had me, I started realizing that this path wasn't my path. And I stepped out of that, and I changed. My marriage ended. We sold our house. Everything kind of fell apart. And that's actually when my revival began. So at that point, I came back to Colorado. We had been living in California, and I started doing circus, which it was just a part-time hobby at that point. I would go to Frequent Flyers, which was in Boulder, and, I heard a woo, so someone out there must do it. I started doing it just once a week, and then it became more. It became just my life. I started working for a ballet company where I was the director of marketing, and in that I met artists who were doing this full-time. They were being artists full-time. And so I got introduced to this amazing new way that I could live my life. And so in 2017, I started a company called Rainbow Militia with some partners. And we focused on circus, immersive circus, entertainment, everything circus. And from there, everything kind of took off. In 2021, our partnership with that company dissolved, but I transformed into Starry Night Productions, which is my current company. And I was able to create shows that bring people into my imagination, which I think is so super fun. All of my shows are interactive. We build big sets and worlds where you get to come in and touch things and talk to the performers. And my first big show in 2019 was set in Denver Rock Drill, where we built it out. And in fact, if you still go there today, some of our sets are there. There's a giant chicken that's just like in the middle of the warehouse. And in that one, you can help break the curse on this forest. And so you went with the characters and interacted with them. In 2023, I had the opportunity to work with Matt Stone and Trey Parker to revive Casa Bonita, it was such a joy because I grew up going there. I grew up in Colorado, and it was a magical experience to be able to bring those things back. So revival has been a huge part of my life. And even in 2021, I got to be a dinosaur. Technically, it's a tiefling for all those nerds out there. So it's like a, dragon demon hybrid, but close enough, right? Our shows foster community. We really want to involve people in the dreams that we're creating. I have 3 huge things happening right now on the 16th Street Mall, or 16th Street as they've rebranded. $100,000 right there. On 16th and Welton, we have a window that is showcasing the Barnum neighborhood, which is where my business partner lives. And it's a really beautiful thing. If you touch the ringmaster's hand, something magical happens. So go down and visit it. It's part of the Kids Fringe Festival, which is happening here next week. Megan and Franzo and I are doing a show called The Swashbuckling Adventures of Captain Zeb. So if you have kids, it's perfect for ages 5 and up, and it's free. So bring them along. And then finally, the thing that I'm hoping you will all come to is June 12th and 13th at the People's Building. We're doing a interactive variety show, interactive to the level you want. But we have jazz, we have a live circus performance, and it's all set in the 1920s speakeasy. Yeah, and I invented this game that I hope will be awesome. It's called Moonlight Mafia, and if you choose, you can come in and become part of a mafia family and try to make your way to the top. So it should be really fun. Check out my website, it's on there. And then Franzo and I thought we would show you the piece that we're going to be doing at the Moonlight Review, which is the name of the show, on June 12th and 13th. So you want to see that? Hey. Yes, and anyone who's sitting inside the square, you might want to just scooch slightly out. Yeah. Thank you. Can you believe Franzo's been doing that for 3 months? Yeah? We have one more thing we want to try with you. It's a fun participation thing, but it can get a little wild.
Are you ready for wild? Okay, so does everyone know rock, paper, scissors? Okay, so this is going to be a game of rock, paper, scissors. It might require a little bit of moving and definitely a little bit of interaction. So you are going to look to the person next to you and you're going to engage in a game of rock, paper, scissors. So it's going to be rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay, so if I win, then I am the winner, yes, okay, yes. Okay, and then Amber now has to be my biggest fan and my cheerleader. So Amber will now follow me until I find the next person to play with, yes? So then Brandy and I will play. If Brandy wins, then we are Brandy's biggest fans. Now if I win, then Brandy joins my team, yeah? It is possible that we can get to 2 teams in this room playing against each other. You think we can try it? Okay, let's give it a go. So, look to your nearest neighbor and begin to play rock, paper, scissors. Yes, your nearest neighbor, yeah?